had the issue of insecurity. Now, she always had back of her mind, she always felt if I do not perform this job well, or if I do not do this task well, my job is at stake. I will lose my job. And I need this job because I'm a single parent, I have to take care of a son. तो ये जो insecurity थी, that insecurity was had converted into a overwhelm of emotion. बात करते करते रो देते थे और इतना थक जाते थे कि रात को नींद भी, you become sleepless, you always, when you are in this situation, you uh, good evening everybody, this is Meenal here. I'm a mindset and wellness coach based in Mumbai, and today's topic is very interesting. Before we start the discussion, I would want to understand, I would want to hear from you. Have you come across someone who is living a very happy, who has everything professionally, personal front, very well placed in job or in business, and also on the family, personal front, a loving spouse, loving children, but still not happy, somewhere, missing, or that feeling of detachment, not belonging, feeling worthless? Have you come across someone, or have you felt that at some point in time? Let me tell you, if you come across someone who is going through these symptoms, then he or she is facing burnout. Now, what is burnout? Burnout is a psychological term which is used to show that the person who is going through, who is facing these symptoms, we'll talk about the symptoms at length, is going through, is overstressing or overdoing in the workplace. Now, let me not restrict it only to workplace. Even children are feeling the same. I've come across children who feel burned out. Now, children, they have their studies, they have classes, they have peer pressure, they have so much to do. So even they go through this burnout. Housewives, let's not spare them. They have so much more responsibility. They too go through this burnout syndrome, right? So what is burnout? When you feel physically, what are the implications? You feel physically tired, exhausted, you don't have energy. Morning, you start your day. Once you're back home, you don't have the energy to do anything. Though you have super plans, you would have planned that you'll go out with your family, but once you're back home, you just don't want to do anything. You don't feel like doing anything. That's the physical implication of burnout, right? And mentally exhausted. You're so tired, you don't feel like talking to you don't feel like interacting with your family. You don't feel like meeting your friends. You don't feel like socializing. You just stop all that. You cut yourself off from the world. This is what happens when you're burning out. And why this happens is because there is so much of work pressure, or there is so much of responsibility at the workplace that you have undertaken. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you shouldn't take responsibility. We all want to grow. So in that game of growing, or in the game of performing well, or seeking promotion or reaching at higher status, whatever it could be, what we do is we take additional responsibility, we take additional work which is beyond our capacity. Now each human has his or her capacity. Now if I have to give you a very simple example, let's talk about a Maruti 800 engine capacity and a BMW capacity. You all will agree with me that the engine capacity of 800 is much less than what it would be of a BMW. Now, if the driver of Maruti 800 wants to race and cope up and compete with somebody who is driving BMW, what will be the condition? What will happen? Will he be able to race or compete with the BMW? No, he won't. We all know he won't. But in the bargain, what he will do, he will damage his engine. He will damage the car right? So that is what we are doing. We all want to grow. We don't see what our capacity is, and we try to compete, grow, and multitask and do so many things at the same time that we exhaust. And this exhaustion comes out in the form of physical exhaustion. The burnout. When people are going through this, they can end up having some cardiovascular diseases. We see so many people. I mean, we have heard someone who's so much into fitness, who was walking on the treadmill and collapsed. What happens is this is stress, the mental stress that took his life. It was not the physical, because physically he was fit, but the mental stress took, a toll on him. So why go to that extreme? Can we not just stick to our capacity? I'm not saying not grow. There are ways and means to increase our work capacity and increase our means to grow in life. We will have a separate discussion on how we can increase our inner power and our energy levels and grow in life. We'll have a separate discussion on that. Today, let us focus on if this is happening. If you have come across someone who is going through this mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, then he or she is going through burnout, and how you can help or how you can change that. We will talk about it in the second half of the session. So let's focus on the symptoms. So one is exhaustion. Physical exhaustion, you feel tired, you don't feel like doing anything. Mental exhaustion, you don't want to talk to anyone, you are just exhausted, you don't feel like communicating, you cut off from your friends, you don't socialize, you don't meet your friends, you just be on your own. Work home, you become a machine. This is what happens, right? So if you are into that, this is a symptom of burnout. We'll see how we can deal with it and come out of it. The third is you often I have we've also come across people who don't sleep at night because they're, again, it is one of the symptom of burnout. There is so much going on that they have sleepless nights. They can't calm down. Their mind is so much agile. It is so many thoughts are going on. When so many thoughts are going on, it is definitely negative thoughts. And people who are going through this burnout, they have a negative pattern of thinking. They will always be demotivated. They will never be motivated to do anything. They will have negative pattern of thinking. They will always judge and be critical about themselves and others. That negative trend, or that the negative side of the mind will be operational when they're burnt out. Now you can't completely blame them, but because they're going through this kind of mental state, the emotions that are coming out are negative, right? So, and also people who are going through this symptom, they will feel lack of accomplishment. When I say lack of accomplishment, it means that you may be performing best, you may be doing very well at your work front, but you feel I'm not worth it, I'm not able to do what I've done is just not good. You just don't trust what you're doing, you're just not happy with what you're doing. And it's a very low feeling, feeling low always, feeling depressed. All these are the symptoms of burnout. Now, why this happens is, now this let us take a scenario in at workplace. If your boss or if your senior has given you an additional responsibility, yeah, we'll talk about a home front situation also. So if that additional task has been given to you and you have a habit that you cannot tell no to the person, so you will take that additional responsibility and you feel that You can multitask and you can do wonders. You will take that responsibility, but you will have to work long hours. If your working hours are 9 to 5, you will stay back at workplace till 8 or 9. So what is it? Every day you're stretching yourself. 3 hours, 4 hours more at workplace, which is what is taking toll on your health, right? So you just need to avoid. You need to see what is it? Why am I feeling? Why these negative emotions? Why this mental exhaustion? Why this physical exhaustion? Identify the reason. Is it the long hours at work, or is it the environment at work which is causing you this kind of burnout? Many a times the work culture that you are in may not be something that you're happy with. So you need to address that separately. You need to identify what is the real cause. So then let's go to how we can outgrow or how we can come out of it. And before we talk about how we can come out of it, let me tell you what burnout can result into. It can often, people who are stressed, they get into binge eating. You must have come across or you must have heard. They have sugar cravings. So they eat so much of sweets or sugary things, they end up into obesity. They put on so much weight, they become obese. Now, this is because there is some mental upheaval or mental stress that is bothering them. Burnout is nothing but mental stress, prolonged mental stress that is bothering you. So, in such situations, it could be you can end up into obesity, you can have any cardiovascular diseases, which can be fatal. I've just shared it. Someone walking on the treadmill just collapsed. So this is what is burnout. So now what is it that we can do to come out of it? How can we just get rid of all this? So we'll have to, first thing is, if it is your workplace situation, you will have to talk to your colleagues or your seniors, shorten the work hours. If it is 9 to 5, work 9 to 5. Try and complete whatever you can between this time. And whatever, prioritize what is important for today, prioritize XYZ, ye aaj karna hai. You have to complete this work today, task it up, write it down, finish that, and then if you have time, take the other responsibility for that day. Otherwise, just go home, do what you feel like doing. Second thing is, talk to people in the company, communicate, because people cannot read your mind. Same thing at the work front. At work front, housewives generally are loaded with responsibilities. If you have so much of responsibilities, please talk to your people at home. It could be your in-laws, it could be your sister-in-law, mother-in-law, husband. Talk to your spouse that this is just going beyond my capacity. I need help. Ask help. There is nothing wrong in seeking help, because by doing that, you're only helping yourself and not getting drained and emotionally not getting into any negative emotions. So please talk and let them know that you need help. People will be more than happy to, because they love you, right? They're your family, they're your colleagues. Even in workplace, you will be surprised. You will feel, had I told about it to my senior earlier, my situation would have been better, because seniors also understand. They also want productive work. They don't want work to be done at the cost of somebody's health. So when you speak to them, they will give you help. They will give you some more additional team, or they'll help you delegate the task. That is something can be done at the workplace. Plus, what you can do is taking more breaks. When I say taking more breaks, doesn't mean every month you have to go for a holiday or a long weekend. No, it doesn't work that way. If you have, like, let's break your work day, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the last 4 quarters we break your work day. After, from 9 to 12, let's say, 3 hours we can say. Take a short break. After your 3 hours or your important meetings are done, take a walk. Just go out. If you have a compound, if you have a bigger office campus, go for a 10-minute walk. And if possible, listen to some music, some good song you play. It will take 5 minutes, not more than that. Pick up the phone and speak to your friend. Speak to someone who will motivate you. Speak to someone who makes you happy, who has that high energy level. Speak to that person. You will see that rest of your day becomes so smooth and so happy. Try doing that. Again, after 6 hours, that is after post lunch, finish your work, have lunch, take a walk, take a break. You can either listen to music, anything, all the three breaks, four breaks, whatever breaks you want. Take walk, meet people, just go and talk with somebody whom you're not, not, I wouldn't say very friendly, with whom you've not spoken for long. Just pick up the call and talk to them and interact with your colleagues. Just walk down to your team. Just have a cup of coffee or tea with them and just ask how life is going on. When you start interacting, people will see a different you, and that will help you grow in your company. These small changes in your life will definitely help you come out of the situation and avoid doing overtime. Don't do overtime because you're going through a phase, emotional phase, which is not helping you. So avoid doing overtime, take regular breaks and talk with people around, socialize. And very important is invest time in your personal time. When I say personal, is create some hobby. Do something that you like. End of the day, when you go home, do something that you like. It could be painting. It could be just staring out of a window. Do that. If that makes you happy or if that calms your mind, just get into that. Nothing wrong. Don't talk. You just nature's walk. If you have a park around, just go for a stroll. That will rejuvenate you. Trust me, it really helps. Just connect with nature and do things that make you happy. And other things that really help in such situations are meditation. Yes. You can start meditating early mornings and before going to bed. You can start with a 10 to 15-minute meditation. You have so many guided meditation videos these days. Or if you have any particular way or anything that, if you're already into meditation, continue your practice. At times you may feel that, I'm sitting in meditation, but my thoughts are wavering everywhere. That's okay, but discipline yourself. Bring the discipline in your life of sparing or investing that 15, 20 minutes for meditation. Fix that time, early mornings and before going to bed. Also make exercise your regular routine. If you have time in the morning, well and good. If not, after coming from work, please exercise. Now, exercise can be either you can hit a gym. If you're a gym person, you can do yoga if you're a yoga person, or just walk. Walking is also a good exercise. So inculcate these habits, these healthy habits, exercising, meditation. More important is the food that you eat. Also, you need to be uh, careful of what you eat. If you eat food which is very oily, very spicy, that may not go along with your mood. If you're going through these syndromes, try and eat something that is light and that your system can easily adapt and easily digest. So when you make these changes, you will definitely see the difference. And social support, go ahead and take social support. When I say that is pick up the call, talk to your friends, talk to your family, let them understand. If it's your spouse, let them understand what you're going through. Tell them, communicate. It's very important, and I'm sure they will understand and help you come out of it. So take social support. Don't try to be that Superman, Superwoman syndrome which we have, that I can do all, I cannot take help from anyone. No, gone are those days. We don't need to do. We don't need to prove anything to anybody. We don't need to prove anything to ourselves. Just understand, yes, you need help. This is the time where you're going through some emotional upheaval. Talk to the person whom you can trust. Talk to someone who will not judge you. And if you think that you are not having anybody with whom you can confide in, at times you feel, okay, if I speak about my mental state or my emotional state to my spouse, they will judge me or your family. If you think you don't have any friend you can whom you can confide in, take professional help. That if it comes to that, take professional help. But when you see these symptoms, please address them at the brink, because these symptoms are, when you identify, when you feel that these are the symptoms of burnout, this could be very fatal. This could lead to depression and many more negative things in life. So let's not get into that situation at all. So if you have come across someone whom you have seen going through these symptoms, these things you notice in him or her, please talk to them. Take the first step. Be with them and let them know that, okay, we are here. We understand. This is a phase in life which each one has to go at some point, and nothing wrong about it. And make that person comfortable and speak to him or her and help that person come out of that. Yeah. Any questions you have, you can type down here, or you can connect with me on my Instagram handle. That is Mindset by Meenal. I also have a Facebook page by the same name. And any more questions? Let me share the details here. Friends, any questions you have, please type. Then we'll address the questions. Falguni, you have anything to ask? So I'm just sharing my social media handles. If you have anything to ask or any questions, you can connect with me there. And there's also Google form I've attached. You can send your review once you've gone through this. And any topics you think we can take up in the next sessions, please feel free to write down there. And I'll see you after a couple of days. Thank you. Friends, any more questions, you can connect with me. As I mentioned, there's some network connectivity issue. Friends, any questions you have इसके लिए कुछ भी है आपको, or you want me to talk about more physical symptoms जो आते हैं burnout को लेके? People feel restless, people feel sleepless nights they have, blurry vision हो जाता है, ये सब भी हो जाता है. These are all the repercussions of burnout or overstress जिसको बोलते हैं. So any area you think you want more elaboration on the symptoms, physical, emotional, or on how to cope with it, ऐसा कुछ भी है तो please type कर दीजिए and I will get into detailing about that. Even कभी कभी if you feel that you have constant regular headaches होते हैं, all that is reason कि over stress हो रहा है. These are the physical symptoms जिसको बोलते हैं. हम लोग ये सब चीजों को ना we take these things very lightly. If you have headache, okay, it's a small thing. एक पैरासिटामोल ले लिया and it's done. नहीं होता है. Identify the real reason. It could be something different. It could be something very grave. So don't take these symptoms very lightly. Pay attention to it and get rid of it in the right way. Any more questions you have? और कुछ पूछना है, बताना है, समझना है तो प्लीज टाइप कर दीजिए यहाँ पे. So you want I can just summarize क्या होता है burnout? Burnout is a psychological term जो हम ओवर स्ट्रेस, ज्यादा स्ट्रेस लेने की वजह से होता है, उसको बर्नआउट बोलते हैं. उसके सिम्टम्स है फिजिकल एग्जॉशन, मेंटल एग्जॉशन एंड डिटैचमेंट, लैक ऑफ अकम्प्लिशमेंट. कुछ भी करो वी फील वी आर वर्थलेस, यूजलेस, हमारे से होता नहीं है. फिजिकली थक जाते हैं, मेंटली थक जाते हैं, लोगों से कट आउट हो जाते हैं, फ्रेंड्स के साथ नहीं बात करते. ये सब जब भी हम फील करते हैं, हेडेक, स्लीपलेस नाइट, ब्लरी विजन, कुछ भी अगर ऐसा महसूस हो रहा है तो इट्स गोइंग यू आर गोइंग थ्रू दीज बर्नआउट सिम्टम्स, सिंड्रोम जिसको बोलते हैं, जो स्ट्रेस की वजह से है. तो हमें क्या करना है, अपने वर्किंग आवर्स को कम करना है, एक्सरसाइज को रूटीन में लाना है, मेडिटेशन करना है, ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज करना है, अपना ध्यान रखना है. इन शॉर्ट, टेक केयर ऑफ योर सेल्फ. सेल्फ केयर इज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट. Self care is very important for you to perform your task, whether it be a task at home, whether it be a task at your workplace. Self care में invest कीजिए time. Be uh, love yourself जब भी बोलते हैं. Love yourself just doesn't mean that you buy things you want, eat what you want. No, take care of yourself. Give yourself that time, me time. Take what your mind is saying. Listen to your mind. Address your mind's queries and questions. Yeah. So, friends, I'll take your leave now and we'll connect again on Friday. See you then.